Wardrobe furnishings for Retro Game Lounge provided by 80stees.com. For all of your rad retro shirt needs, check out 80stees.com. What is up, everybody, and welcome back at last to Retro Game Hall. Look who is here with me.
What's up, guys?
I found Mark the Shark is here. I brought him back because we had so much fun last time, and it's just not as fun when I do this by myself. It really isn't, because then I look like a crazy person, like talking to the camera.
Like me.
Yeah, you're like God, I'm so mad. You know, we can't be having any of that. Plus, it gives an excuse to A, hang out with a buddy. You know, one of the fucking Dirtflix crew, one of the OGs. He's got some pickups to go through along with mine, so you're getting two for the price of one in the same video. Two YouTubers with pickups.
Double douche.
Double douche. All in the same video. I mean, God, that's so much value. That is the kind of value that we bring to you here on Retro Game Hall. And dude, tell them, we got a lot of shit here.
Oh yeah.
We got we're hitting
more than
this.
what I was expecting. Like it's like double from last time.
It is. Like we're hitting this from every angle. We got, card games, we got CD games, we got systems, we got limited run stuff, we got accessories, man. We got everything that you could ever possibly need. We know what you need, man. We know what you need. We're gonna give you what you need. All in this video. I'm telling you. Right up the butt.
Definitely.
So, well, I think I'm about ready to kick this fucking retro party off here, pal.
Yeah,
you?
Sounds good.
I'm ready to get into this shit. Right now. So, we actually have a stereo pickup this time, where just by sheer coincidence, we basically bought the same game, but we bought it for different systems. Myself, Super Nintendo, and Mark for a different system, which we'll get into in just a minute. And I guess the main difference would be is that I actually got the game I paid for, meaning I ordered the one for Super Nintendo, and that's exactly what I got. Mark, not so much. Like, he was buying one game, and he kind of got another game, but it's a really funny story. I'm going to let him tell it. This, guys, you need to listen up. This is fucking hilarious.
So, I ended up getting the Sega Genesis version of Ride and Tried, but I was supposed to get the Atari Jaguar version of Ride, which, is this Ride and Tried as well in Jaguar?
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
It's more or less the same game, so
what happened was, on eBay, they offered the box for the Genesis version, but inside was going to be the Atari Jaguar game and manual for riding. Unfortunately, when I opened it up, I got the Genesis version. Yay!
So instead of like the Misfit version, he got the game that matches the box. But tell them what happened when you contacted the seller about this. This is hilarious.
So I contacted the seller, and he was like, that's weird. How's that possible? So I showed him the pictures. I'm like, look, the pictures are proof that I got the Genesis version. He's like, oh, wow, you didn't get the Jaguar version? I'm like, no. He's like, where is it? And they didn't even know. They had no idea where it was.
I didn't know I had that game. How did I get to you? The fuck, man? It's really?
And it's weird. In the description, they have the picture. So
he
I don't
did.
know
Seriously,
if it was,
I looked at it. He's not lying.
I don't know if it was like a separate lot, like that was sold separately.
It clearly stated that it was the Jaguar game.
Yeah.
In the description, and seriously, he showed me the auction. This specifically said Jaguar version in the Genesis box, period.
The funny thing is, so I took the Genesis game out. I was like, let me try to put a loose Atari Jaguar game in here. It doesn't fit. Like, you have to tape it to get it to shut. It won't close. So I'm like, how would an Atari Jaguar game fit in here? It fits in here, but it's really snug when I put a loose Jaguar game in this. So I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, I still scored, which I'm happy about. It's still a pretty pricey game. But
it is. You got a pretty good price on it.
Even the label on this, it's really nice. Like, the labels I saw on eBay are jacked up, and they're going for $60. I
mean, dude, you got a riding game for Genesis, and you got the box to go with it.
And this is fun. I played it the other day.
Yeah. There are worse fates, dude. You got riding. That's and you got a good price on it. So it's like, didn't really get what he wanted, but I'm sure the Jaguar version probably looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't have that game. I just have it for the Super Nintendo. So it's like, you got riding. It could be worse. Yeah. It's all good, but only you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it could have been worse. I could have just got the case.
Yeah, just no game in it. Then you're like, what the fuck?
Really sucked.
What the fuck? I didn't get the
it. And then he would want this back. I'm like, no, give me my full refund and I'm keeping your case. Fuck that.
You're keeping my money back too. Damn it. I'm not sending the freaking Lisa mattress back. I'm keeping it and I want my money back. Fuck you. So Mark is definitely not having a good month on eBay.
No.
He's like, why is this happening to me? And I'm like, bro, I do this all the time and this has never happened to me. Like what he's describing, I have 1,800 plus feedback. I've never once had these kind of problems.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him. But anyways, so tell him the story.
So I ended up watching my friend Austin's live stream of Stretch Panic, which I bought on the PS2. And he showed the auction. He was like, oh, this game's cheap. Like, it was like $24 shipped, which is like, this is actually going for like double on eBay, like complete. So I got it. Obviously the game's on here, I'll talk about that later. But I didn't look at the disc. It's scratched to hell. And in the description it said it was very good condition. So I emailed this out. I'm like, dude, could you do like a partial refund because the disc is scratched. It does not look in very good condition. Like you stated in your ad on eBay, he's like, oh, well, all I can do is give you, just return it, I'll give you a full refund. I'm like, I don't want to return it. I want this game. Can you do like a partial refund? So he didn't respond to me within a week. So I got pissed. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give him negative feedback because he wasn't cooperating. Like, I thought I was reasonable. So like the day after I sent him the negative feedback, he's like, dude, are you really that mean? I was gonna give you the $5 for partial refund. I'm like, when were you gonna do that? He's like, you didn't get my email? I'm like, no. So apparently eBay's email system is really wonky. So just double check when you sending out emails through eBay's system. Just send out another email, be like, hey, did you get this message? Just to kind of like reassure yourself that they've got the message, because the programmers on eBay are fucking retarded and they can't fucking do a simple messaging system properly. Like, send, and it says, message sent. Like, you would say, oh yeah, the message has been sent. No, it hasn't. They're fucking lying to you. So, now I'm in the process of reverting my negative feedback, because I guess family of his was affected by the hurricane in Texas, so kind of felt bad because that's where he was going on vacation. So I'm gonna give him positive feedback because he was helping me out. eBay system that fucked up. So and also with the write-in, he never got my initial email about it. So before I contacted eBay, I recontacted him. He's like, I never got your message. Fucking eBay.
Fucking eBay.
So, why the disc is not here is apparently my buddy Nick, his resurfacer ran out of fluid. So, he was supposed to have it this Wednesday for me, but unfortunately, the FedEx was running late. So, he has it resurfaced for me for next week. So,
that's okay.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So, eventually, I have the game complete in very good condition. Thank God.
Good story, bro. So, I like NES cards, do you?
Of course.
I think cards are awesome. They display well on the shelf. They don't even need, like, really a boxing unless it's an N64 card, because they totally screwed that up. Yeah. But anything before that, you're pretty much good to go. So, thought we would get into a few of those. If that's okay with you?
Yeah, sounds good.
Super. Okay. Well, first, I have a weird one from Toho, Circus Caper. Yeah, with a bunch of fucking permanent marker on it. I've never played this either, but it looks really weird. I guess you're a kid trying to save your girl from, like, Bluto, who's, like, kidnapped her and probably going to do nefarious things to her. I don't know. That looks questionably weird. Then I actually got a duo. I already have this one, but I basically got them together to get this one, which I did not have. Yeah, I know, I'm a slacker. I didn't have the controls to the arcade. But, funny story about this. I remember when I got this brand new. I got it for Christmas. Big, like, this was, like, the hot game, like, that year for Christmas. Like, that was the must-have game. And I remember that it came with a little thing in the instruction manual where you actually had a free voucher to Pizza Hut we could get when they made those little personal pizzas, you know, way back when, where you could actually get one of those for free. So, and I've actually seen some of the complete in box version of this actually still have that coupon with it.
Yeah, which he probably jacked up the price, I'm sure.
Probably. I wonder if they would still honor that.
Probably not.
Probably not. They probably don't even make those anymore. But I mean, I think it'd be funny to test that.
Yeah.
You go in there and be like, "Hey, I got one." Like, what if there's an expiration date? On some of these things, there might not be. I mean, if it doesn't expire, it doesn't expire.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that'd be worth a try.
That's on it, right?
It's a coupon. I mean, it's go in there with a YouTube camera to see what happens.
Yeah. I ended up picking up a interesting title. This is the only reason I would actually get a Famicom Disk System is for this game, Doki Doki Panic. And this, as most of you guys probably know, this is the original Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah. But rather, this is the game, the version that we got in the US, this is what it's based on.
Yeah.
So
this is the only way that I know that you can actually play it in card form. And you can either get it loose, but I chose to buy the case for it because it looks cool.
It does look cool.
It doesn't really display on the shelf because it's super huge.
Yeah, it looks like a VHS case, man.
So I had to put it on top of my shelf. But it comes with the game.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've been playing it.
Good game?
Yeah, not bad.
How different is it from our Super Mario Bros. 2?
It's basically just a character swap.
Other than that, it's basically the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But I think, I haven't gotten too far in the game, but I think there's some story segments that they added in this. But I haven't gotten that far in the game.
That's cool that somebody took what was on the Famicom Disk System and they actually put it on a cartridge so you could play it.
Yeah, so if you want, go to Fanbrew Games on Etsy and pick one up yourself.
Awesome. So, moving right along to Super Nintendo, one of my personal favorite systems. I got a little trifecta of sweetness here. First, if I can not drop it, we have Supernova, which I'm told is actually a really cool shooter. There's actually apparently a lot of really good shooters on the Super Nintendo that I'm all about those. I'm a Turbo, which is like the home of pretty much every great fucking shooter ever. So I've been kind of on a tear to get all the rest of these that I didn't have. While I can before, somebody else catches on, the price goes through the goddamn roof. So that's always how it happens.
Yeah, it already started, pretty much.
Really? Next up, we have a game that I actually did originally own, Indiana Jones's Greatest Adventures, which is like the Indiana Jones trilogy, basically. You've got little segments from Raiders, from Temple of Doom, from Last Crusade, etc. Luckily, you don't have Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because that wasn't made yet, and that would be fucking terrible. But, LucasArts actually came up with the game. JVC put it out, so it's on par with Super Star Wars, the series, which I thought were awesome. I used to play the crap out of those all the time on the Super Nintendo, because LucasArts put out the game, so, yeah, they were pretty freaking sweet. And this game I actually like, man. It's actually pretty fun. It's like an action kind of platformery type stuff. You got the whip, you got the pistol, you got the sound effects, the graphics are really great. It's actually a pretty sweet game, and it doesn't really cost that much money.
Not bad.
No. And last but certainly not least, we actually have an entry in the Ballast series, Super Ballast 4, which I don't know where Ballast 1 is. I've actually never seen Ballast 1, but 2 and 3 are on Turbo CD. So, those, I think I have both of them. Yeah, pretty sure I do. I don't know. Turbo problems. But, that was 2 and 3 was pretty much the end on the Turbo graphics, and it went on beyond that, and onto the Super Nintendo, we have Super Ballast 4.
Nice.
Really weird game series, too. It's almost like kind of platformery, kind of a shooter, kind of a combat game. It's really odd. Like, you get a sword, and the sword starts shooting shit, and this girl with magical powers. Like, it looks like somebody took, like, a mediocre NES game, like, as far as, like, the play style, and made it a Super Nintendo game. Like, they made it 16-bit.
Oh, wow.
So it's just, like, the play sophistication of an NES game, but with better visuals. It's really bizarre. Like, it really is. I'll have to live stream that sometime.
And I know they have them on the Genesis as well.
They do?
I don't know which ones, though.
I don't know which ones either. I don't know how far this goes, but... let's see, Oregon Video. Fist yourself. Thank you for writing on this cartridge. Now I have to clean it.
God!
Last but certainly not least, I got a boxed NES game.
Oh, nice.
Maniac Mansion, bro. Got the manual in there and everything. The box is a little worse for wear, but that's okay. I remember when this made the cover of Nintendo Power.
Nice.
Back when Nintendo Power was doing kind of like the claymation kind of covers, like when they put little models together. Those are always my favorite because those have the most character. And I remember, them talking the hype about this game, like, it was on PC. Now we're bringing it to the NES, and it's like a mystery game, and it's an old school point and click, basically. But the difference is that it's made by Lucasfilm Games, which eventually became LucasArts. Mm-hmm. So Day of the Tentacle, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, you know, we just mentioned Indiana Jones, you know, Super Star Wars. Monkey Island. Like, they didn't really make shitty games. Back when LucasArts was hitting on all cylinders, pretty much all of them were good. So, I've actually never gotten a chance to play this.
I never played it either.
I mean, dude, Maniac Mansion, why is there a chainsaw in the kitchen? Like, that doesn't sell you? I mean, like, that's a really good question. But there actually was a short-lived version on the Family Channel of it. There was a TV show of it.
Oh, wow.
So I remember seeing the commercials for it. I don't remember actually watching it, but I'm looking forward to checking this out. I'm thinking that this is going to be an October playthrough.
Yeah, it's fitting for around this time.
I mean, look at that crazy motherfucker right there. I mean, look at this. Look at that guy back there. He's like the Joker or something. I don't know. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So, as previously seen on Retro Game Haul, I pieced this together kind of all by itself. I originally got the box, the 25th anniversary of Super Mario AllStars, got the soundtrack, which is all kinds of, pretty much every Mario tune that you want, this has it. And there was just one simple thing missing from that whole thing, the game, which they actually originally put out again. They put out a Nintendo Collectors, you know, with the gold stamp and stuff. They re-released it. But yeah, this was originally only available through the Nintendo Club, the Owners Club, where you had to spend your points to get it. And that was a little bit before I actually got enough points to actually get this game. So I was like, I didn't actually get a chance to get it. And it's really cool because you get to play, you know, Super Mario All-Stars just on your Wii, which is really sweet. It's a great compilation of games. Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, OG Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm really surprised they didn't include Super Mario World.
Yeah, me too.
Because they did in the later issue of All-Stars.
Yeah, and it's on a disc, though.
It's not like they don't have enough space, but hey, you know, now I have the complete boxed version in the collection. I mean, how sweet is this?
Yeah,
I mean,
awesome.
this is why Nintendo is Nintendo, really.
So, as you guys all know from watching my channel, I collect limited run games. So, I got a stack. Limited run games.
That's a lot.
So, Lily, which is, I don't know what kind of game this is. Weird. This is like a mobile game. But apparently this was a high seller, which I thought wasn't going to sell that well, because it was also selling as the same as N++, which this is an awesome game. It's a kind of like a puzzle style game. And this is like, you can get this on PSP, like downloaded on like 360 and stuff like that. But this one didn't sell on limited run. It took them like maybe like 3 days for them to finally sell this game.
Who would have thought?
So you have the card for both of them. There's that batch. Now the second batch is pretty controversial because of all the drama that ensued. So first we got The Bunker, which this game is a fantastic game.
I've heard about it.
Anyone who hasn't played this, I would highly recommend it. It's really interesting, kind of like a live action game. And yeah,
full motion video returns.
Full motion video. This is awesome.
Nice.
Definitely check it out. It's really interesting of what happens. And yeah, well, I don't want to give it away. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to say anything else, but the ending, yeah.
Super.
So definitely check that out. And got that. The little
cards and things that they give you with it.
Card. And this one came with the postcard. I guess this is the last game to have a postcard because all my other games don't have it. You have the goofy lottery tickets or whatever the hell, redemption tickets. But this one,
yeah, this one caused quite a row. I tried to get one, ladies and gentlemen, but this was like this was like trying to get a fucking Super NES Mini, like that.
Yeah.
It was gone.
So, for your consideration,
Bum, bum, bum.
we have Night Trap.
The most notorious video game in history. Here it is.
Apparently this is reversible cover, which is pretty cool. It has the original and the blue one, obviously.
Nice.
And it has the card. But a funny story about this. So everyone knows with Night Trap, this is the reason we have the ESRB rating system.
That and Mortal Kombat, yeah. Like those are the two games basically that started it.
So, after this was released this year, now for like limited run, like IM 8-bit, any like cheap like knockoff, like not really knockoff, but like downloaded to disc type games, they require an ESRB rating system. Like I believe the last batch, I think Lily and N++ are actually now still waiting on a couple games because they're horrible with shipping, but their latest batch of games is the last batch that will not have the ESRB rating.
Speaking of FMV, I actually have one to add to the Sega CD collection. I've been kind of on a tear. I'm going after the true video and the digital pictures, like all of those. Contrary to popular belief, guys, not all the Sega CD games were full motion video. Not even the majority of them were. It was just kind of, at the beginning, like, that was the craze.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, oh my god, you know, we're playing movies on video games. Like, when you were a kid, you're like, like, this is fucking incredible, you know, because before that we're playing like Super Mario Brothers, and we go from that to like real people.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the biggest jump ever. We're like, holy shit, it's real. And now it's like, no, because now it's all CG. We're like, we're not going to do that anymore. We're like, no thanks, you know. But at the same time, guys, I love these old FMV games. They're so cheesy. I mean, when you think about it, dude, we are two of the hosts of the best show on the internet about the worst movies on the internet. Like, watching things that are shitty and cheesy is kind of our thing.
Yeah.
So, I've always seen these games as like, kind of like the dirt flicks movies of video games. Because that's basically what you're watching. You're watching a shitty ass movie. You know?
And the acting is like, oh my gosh.
The acting is god-awful crap. I mean, yeah, I mean, this looks like air and ground battles, and like, I mean, god, look at the colors in this. It's like, you're like one step above like black and white. I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. I mean, it's like
washed out.
It's like this much better than a Game Boy. You know? Like, you have like 3 more colors than a Game Boy. But you know what, dude? It's fun. It really is. These are so stupid and cheesy.
Yeah.
It's basically just an interactive movie. I'm okay with that. This is cool. So I'm looking forward to getting more of these, adding to the collection, and getting a chance to play them. On my monstrosity, it takes 3 power supplies.
So as you guys know, I'm going for a full Game Gear set.
Okay.
So I've been going to a newer game store in my area, All Things Video Games, and they have like a little bin of all Game Gear games. So I've been nitpicking, and I found like a bunch of games like on the cheap. And since they moved to a new location, they had 10% off. So I was like, hell, might as well pick up all the Game Gear games I can, because it seems like Game Gear's sort of a thing now.
Sort of, yeah.
It's like people are starting to notice it, because obviously a lot of people can fix them, as I can fix them, and they can, hey, we can play Game Gear, and especially with the Retron 5, it has the Game Gear adapter, so that's probably bringing more notoriety to it. But I got a bunch of common Game Gear games, nothing in particular, so...
Well, there's only one way we do that on this show, buddy.
How's that?
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Rapid fire!
World-class leaderboard golf.
Poker Face Paul's Poker.
Say that 3 times fast. World Cup, USA 94.
World Series Baseball 95.
I am the Lord, Judge Dredd.
Super Monaco GP. And we have some good games. Pack Attack, which is a really good version, surprisingly, on the Game Gear. Pac-Man.
It's all right there in the title, folks. I'm gonna ratchet back the rapid fire just a little bit. I don't want anyone getting hurt here, man. You gotta pull out, I mean, you could bounce into a supernova or run into a star.
Geez, don't want to do that.
No, fuck that. So next up, we actually have a pair that I picked up on my lunch break at work the other day in our great nation's capital, because the dude was apparently local, and I was like, man, why would you bother shipping these? I'll meet you somewhere and we'll get this taken care of. 2 that I've wanted to add back to my collection for quite some time. Owned both of them originally. They were, the first one at least was the reason I bought the PlayStation. And I'm sure I'm not alone with that. I'm sure that this game sold a shit ton of PlayStations. And that would be your Resident Evil Uno and Dos. And I seem to have kind of an unusual version of this. Guys, this isn't a fake, this isn't a repro, this is legit. I've looked into it. And this seems to be the least common version of the game.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you call it the jewel case version. I mean, because the long box was first.
Yeah.
Then I guess came this, and then after that was the director's cut. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I mean that would make sense that the director's cut would come after this. So I guess we've got, maybe this didn't last that long. Maybe it's out for like a month. They didn't print that many copies, because guys, even if you search eBay for these, you're not going to find much. I found like one other one besides this.
Oh, wow.
So. I mean, it wasn't that much money. It was like, when you pay the 2 together, it was like $20 a piece, basically. So, no, I mean, it's cheaper than a long box. A long box looks cooler, let's face it. Long boxes are the fucking shit.
But that saves space, then.
It does. Size matters. You know, in this case, less is more. And, of course, 2-disc version, Resident Evil 2. Gotta have that, man. I mean, look at this. This case is just so iconic, dude. I mean, win a part in the movie.
I wonder if anyone actually did win a part in the movie.
Probably. Yeah, it has a sweepstakes, so... Yeah, I don't know, man. Looking forward to checking this one out, man. It's been forever, actually, since I've broken out the fucking OG, you know, Resident Evil 1 and 2. I mean, Resident Evil 1 has been remade on the Gamecube, and you can get RE2 on the Gamecube, and, you know, it does upgrade the visuals a little bit. You know, it does look a little bit better. Honestly, man, I'm really amazed that when they did, like, what like people call the remake, RE, capital E, for Gamecube, why didn't they give that same treatment to Part 2? Like, I thought that that would be, like, the next logical thing, like... You know, because it was kind of an experiment when they did that, like, you know, let's see if this will actually sell. And it sold like fucking gangbusters. Like, people couldn't get enough of it.
The story is amazing.
It is. And they, you know, they brought out Resident Evil 0, which was the prequel, and they brought that out basically at the same time. I'm like, I was thinking, like, yeah, like, they're going to do what they did for the remake and do that to Resident Evil 2. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
It never happened. Okay, so guys, Mark just told me something that, seriously, 30 seconds before I'm saying these words, I just found this out. They are still making Magnavox Odyssey 2 games.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I if you would have told me, like, dude, the sky is green, I would have been like, oh, okay. Like, I probably could have bought that. But if you're telling me, like, they're still making Odyssey 2 games, it's like, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, why aren't they still making NES games?
Yeah,
you know, like, why aren't they, like, Super Nintendo, like, you know, why aren't you going with the heavy hitters and shit, you know, like, where you've got a bigger install base? I mean, you know, Mark loves the Odyssey too, and I'm sure it has its core fan base of fans and shit, but it's like a little obscure.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely, I mean, dude, Turbo is a niche. This is a niche within a niche.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's funny, even I tell my grandfather, like, who originally bought the Odyssey 2, which I have, yeah, that I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah, they're still making Odyssey 2 games. He's like, get out of here. I'm like, yeah, they still make them.
You're just talking wild, Mark.
Yeah. Talking nonsense.
Crazy ass little kids. Does your grandfather talk just like you? He's just like an older version of you. Like,
yeah,
no, Mark, you're just talking wild.
He doesn't really talk too much, but...
Well, show him what you got, man.
So yeah, so we got new Odyssey 2 games.
See, I thought these were 8-track tapes when he brought them in, because they're basically the same size.
So we got
Look at these monstrosities.
Amityville, which is fitting for this time of the season.
Alright, so is the game inside of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've never actually seen one of these before.
Yeah, it's got... They have like a handle. Oh, that's another extra.
That is a really elaborate case. Somebody made an Amityville game.
So that's the handle.
Toy Jaguar. That's a game with a handle.
Toy Jaguar isn't the first console with a handle.
Because it's so heavy when you're carrying it around.
Like you're that hardcore playing the game, you just go.
Fucking, let me see it. Like fucking kettlebells and shit. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
It's like a workout routine.
Oh my god. Oh, this is adorable.
Then we got Countdown, which I have no idea what this game's about. Numbers and letters.
It's about numbers and letters.
Calculations and create the longest possible word.
That sounds like the worst idea for a game I've ever heard.
But
I don't want to do math and grammar. I want to play a video game.
Then we got Blob.
Like
this is
Blob or just Blob?
It's just Blob. Apparently you're a tank and you destroy these little blobs on the screen. It's kind of interesting.
Alright.
And then lastly we have Golf Tournament. Which looks like a really decent golf game, to be honest.
I mean, the cover looks nice.
Yeah.
I don't think the game actually looks like that.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
But it's better than the original golf that came with the system. It's like updated.
Anything could be better than that. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Golf game. It's fucking awful. It's dreadful.
So next up, I got a 5200 game. Dig Dug.
Gotta love Dig Dug, dude.
I dig it, but I suck at it.
Well, dude, I know a guy who's awesome at it.
Yeah?
Neo Turbo Maniac can get to the kill screen in 1 credit.
Oh, wow.
That dude's like fucking wizard. He's like Lucas with that shit. Like,
Jeez.
I love Dig Dug. It's so bad. Like,
I mean, granted, it's the 5200, so the controls are wonky, so maybe that's the reason why I sucked at the game, but
maybe.
Still nice to have in the collection.
I would very much like to own that arcade cabinet. I really would. I mean, I love Dig Dug. Although I think that freaking Death Battle thing, where it's Dig Dug versus Bomberman, was fucking bullshit. So, going with the flow, Mark's kind of got the old school vibe here, which is really funny because, like, I'm older than Mark, but he's actually hitting the older systems more than me. Like, my video game stuff, I mean, we had an Atari 2600 when I was a kid. That was my first game console. We got it from a neighbor, and that was like my first exposure to home video games, short of the arcade. For me, it starts with the NES and it goes forward. Like that's, I mean, everyone has a point of demarcation except Mark. Like Mark's like, oh, if it's old, I'm interested. Like it's this dude is a fucking hound for this shit. You know what? That's awesome. Yeah. It really is. Like that's your thing. It's just, I got to do the stuff that I have a nostalgic connection to, I guess. And for me, my true love of video games, of console games at least, started with the NES. Like that was it for me. There are a couple 2600 games I like. You know, I loved. We had the ColecoVision actually, so River Raid was good. I really loved
awesome game.
The Cabbage Patch game. I thought was so fun, but it was so hard. It was on the ColecoVision, dude. It was so hard because you're like bouncing on trampolines. It was like Pitfall with Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like, why are they putting these poor kids like over like snakes? And I was like, this is terrible. Like, I mean, this is, oh, dude, hard as shit. Wow. So, do you have a ColecoVision?
Yep.
Okay.
It's actually being fixed as we speak.
Get the Cabbage Patch Kids game.
I have to see if I don't think I have that game.
You need to get it. All right, I'll tell you what. The next time you come up here, bring that system and see if you can get that game because I would like to play that again.
Yeah, definitely.
I seriously would. Like plus I've never played it in color. No. Because when we had an Atari, we only had a black and white TV.
Oh, jeez.
Because my parents, that's all the only spare TV we had. So all of my Atari experiences at home were in black and white. You know, we didn't see color. When I bought my NES, they actually bought me a color TV to go with it.
Nice.
So, yeah, but sticking with that same thread, man, we're going to roll right into Intellivision.
Yeah, so as you guys know, I recently got a Intellivision for my girlfriend's aunt. So I've been picking up some games that I didn't have.
Cool.
Nothing too crazy right here. We got Royal Dealer, which I never heard of. It's a game in the... It only has one overlay. I guess it's missing the other one. But still cool to have nonetheless. And this one is actually a heavy hitter, pun intended. We have World Series Major League Baseball, which unfortunately I can't play because you need the master component computer adapter, which is kind of pricey, and I don't have room in my game room for it, but it's cool to have nonetheless. I heard this is a really good baseball game for whatever reason.
I hope so, if it's that much money.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely pricey game. Cool to have in the collection.
So, thought we'd roll right into some Xbox. I like Xbox.
Yeah, I love Xbox.
Especially OG Xbox. Great system to collect for. We have one I've been trying to get for a reasonable price with a gigantic sticker on it, which they didn't charge me extra for, thank God. Shenmue 2,
nice.
Which I've never played. I owned the original Shenmue when it came out on the Dreamcast. I remember all the hype surrounding it, but never got a chance to play part 2. And this one has an interesting sticker. It says, Microsoft Company Store Purchase Not to Be Sold, and it's purchased by, and it actually has... See if you can see that. Come on, camera. Come on. Don't be stupid. Yeah, it has... I'm sorry, it still doesn't want to focus. It's got the employee number on it, so...
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. It does come with the extra DVD movie of the Shenmue movie.
I never watched the movie. It's just basically the first one, right?
Basically, yeah. This is one of the few Xbox games that is HDTV compatible.
Oh, cool.
So they kick up the output, so if you have the component cables, it will actually shine. I don't know if it does real 540p. Like that was the maximum. Like Evil Dead Regeneration does that.
Yeah.
I think Halo 2 does that too. There's a handful of games that will actually run low-grade high definition, only if you have the component cables. But since it's specifically labeled HDTV, it probably would. And this was a late release in the Xbox life cycle, so this probably is going to look a lot better if you've got the component adapter. Which I mean, that's the only way you should be rolling Xbox, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost much money. Get it, you know? It'll make your dick hard. It really will.
And continuing on with OG Xbox, I got a nice stack of OG Xbox.
He does.
So my
got one
buddy
of my favorites in there.
Jay that I play game night with, he was getting rid of some games. He's like, "Oh, do you want these?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." So right off the bat, we got The Punisher.
Awesome game.
Which I hear is an awesome game.
Thomas Jane does the voice of the Punisher. It's like cameos from Nick Fury and Black Widow and a bunch of other Marvel characters. The executions in this game are what sell it. Like when you get a hold of someone and you're questioning them, you can use the environment basically to torture and kill them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like knives, like when they're laying on a kitchen table and you got like a rack of chef knives, he'll like shake the knives. They're like oh, like you're trying to get information out of them, and you can actually finish them. You can be like boom, and the knives fall down, or throw them up into a fan, or like mount them on a fucking set of antlers. Like they really get creative with these.
Wow.
So
that's pretty interesting.
It's a really good game.
We have that. And he also gave me Mortal Kombat Armageddon, which
nice.
is the only Mortal Kombat game I needed to complete the whole Mortal Kombat set
Nice.
for the OG Xbox. So
Word, dude.
excited to have that. Maximum Chase, which it looks actually like a really good game.
Looks alright. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. And we got MotoGP, the original. I have the second one. I didn't have the original.
Gotta love MotoGP, dude.
So,
One of the last true, really good motorcycle racing games. There really are not that many of those. Speaking of Xbox, I have an Xbox One purchase. This one was actually a Walmart pre-order, and Walmart did something that I've never really seen before. They offered me a discount for pre-ordering. I got like $3 off just for pre-ordering.
nice.
So I got this brand new, I haven't even opened it yet, for like $14, and that would be Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, which kind of, I have Legacy Collection 1, which kind of completes like the original storyline, I guess you could say, you know, before Mega Man X. So you get 7, 8, 9, and 10. The really good thing about this is basically the only way to get a hard copy of Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10, because those were only released digitally. So if you'd like to have a hard copy of those games, and dude, we're collectors, we like tangible things, we like hard copies, this is the solution. I think that's really awesome. So it's almost like you're getting a limited run game. So, and plus I've never played 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Neither have I.
And 9 and 10, when you look at them, they look like NES games. Like they literally went out of their way to make it completely duplicate the original look of the NES game. So it's literally like you're getting a sequel, you know, to the original run of the NES games with the same art style and everything. I think that's amazing. So I'm looking forward to checking these out. Maybe I'll actually be able to beat one someday.
Yeah.
Not holding my breath though. So that about wraps up part 1. We hope that you have enjoyed this little section, this little segment of the haul, but do tell them, we got more.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot more
You
coming.
haven't seen nothing yet.
No, we're saving the best for last. We got all kinds of shit in part 2. Just check that description box. It will be there as soon as the video is uploaded, which is whenever the hell I feel like putting it on YouTube, okay? It'll be there. Alright? God. Just watch the show, will ya?